Hello students, today we will study a very interesting poem, Cherry Tree. First of all, I would like to thank God that we all are here. We all are survived from this pandemic COVID-19, in which all of us, the world has suffered a lot, and we all are here and we have survived. And that is the main theme of this poem. In this poem, poet also tried to show a plant which is just trying to survive, a plant which is just struggle for survival, a plant which is struggle for existence. The same like human tendency. The main theme of the poem is human tendency, because we know that we human being get so many problems. Though we have so many hurdles in life, though we have so many problems in life, but still we try to survive. We try for best survival, and we struggle for best survival. And that is the main theme of the poem. In this poem also, poet just has shown a cherry tree which is tried for survival, which is tried for existence. So first we will see introduction of author. The poem which is written by Ruskin Bond. Ruskin Bond is a very famous poet. You must knowing about him because he is famous for his stories, his poems and his novels for children. He has written hundreds of stories for children. So Ruskin Bond, he born on 19 May 1934 in Kasuli, Himachal Pradesh. Ruskin Bond has written hundreds of short stories, essays, novellas and more than 30 books for children. So he is very famous among children. His first novel, The Room on the Roof, was written when he was 17 years old. He started writing his novels, his poems, his stories at the age of 17. Scenes from a writer's life and The Lamp is Lit, a collection of essays and episodes from his journal. So these are his famous writings. Then we will see awards. The Sahitya Academy Award for English Writing in 1992, Padma Shri in 1999. Then he received John Llewellyn's Memorial Prize in 1957. Ruskin Bond lives with his adopted family in Mussoorie, Uttarakhand. In this poem, Ruskin Bond encourages students for tree plantation. He just gives message that everyone should plant at least one tree. Everyone should have their own tree. And the main theme of the poem is dedication, struggle, ecstasy, perseverance and survival. Actually, the poem is based on a story which is written by Ruskin Bond. With the same title, The Cherry Tree. In this story, a boy, Rakesh has 3 cherries, and from that one cherry he has given to his grandfather, and remaining 2 cherries he has eaten. And then he asked his grandfather, these seeds, what to do with these seeds? Whether these seeds are lucky for me, whether they will give me something in life. And then his grandfather, what he said, you just plant the seed and definitely you will get something from the plantation. And then he realized that yes, I should plant the cherry and I should have my own tree. I should get at least one tree, and then he planted the cherry. And that is what given in the poem. What experience he got during the cherry plantation, that is given in the poem. So here we can see how the cherries are just growing. Here we can see the cherry tree which is completely which is full of blossom. Then what cycle it has, because in this poem the cherry tree cycle is given. In this poem, poet is tried to show from the seed to plant how cherry tree grows, what struggle it has, that is given in the poem. So the poem is about the poet ecstasy over a tree which was planted by him that took 8 years to grow. He is expressing wonder at the ways of nature and how the cherry blossoms are fragile and quick to fall. The tree gives him immense joy as he can see the stars and blue sky through dapple green trees. And that is what message we get. When we plant a tree, when we plant a small seed, we can get so many advantages from the tree. The tree gives us so many things in back. It gives us flowers, then it gives us fruits, shadow, and so many things. And that's why tree plantation is more important, and that is what the message poet is trying to give from the poem. So let's study the poem now. So see the poem. 8 years have passed since I placed my cherry seed in the grass. Must have a tree of mine own, I said, and watered it once and went to bed. And now poet is telling that it is the story of cherry tree which started 8 years before. He planted a seed 8 years before, and now 8 years passed and he got a very big cherry tree. So what he says, 8 years have passed since I placed my cherry seed in the grass. So once he placed a cherry seed in the grass and must have a tree of mine own, I said. And that time what he thought, that he should also have his own tree. He should also get his own tree and water it once and went to bed. And after planting that seed, what did he do? He just watered it once and he went to bed, and he has forgotten about the tree and forgotten. But cherries have a way of growing. So students, see, every plant, it is a nature, and in the nature we know that everyone, not only plants but even human beings, animals, everyone has their own way of growing. Some of the plant, they grow very fast. Some of the trees, they grow very fast. Even some of the human beings also, they grow very fast. They become tall very early. Yes, even animals also. In the same way, the cherry tree, it has its own way of growing. Though no one's caring very much of or knowing. And suddenly that summer, near the end of May, I found a tree had come to stay. And now what poet is telling in the next stanza, that he has forgotten about the cherry tree. He planted the seed and he went to bed. He watered it once only and then he has forgotten about the cherry tree. But as per the nature's rule, it started growing according to its own way. Though no one's caring very much or knowing. And even no one was caring about the cherry tree. No one knows about it. No one was knowing that there is a cherry seed planted. But still cherry tree was surviving. Cherry tree was just trying to grow. And that is what poet tried to show from the poem. It is a poem about the survival. Cherry tree, it gets so many struggles, so many hurdles while growing. But still it just grows properly. And suddenly that summer, near the end of May, I found a tree had come to stay. And suddenly what happened in the summer? The poet, he has forgotten about the cherry tree. But still later, at the end of May month in the summer, what happened? He saw that there was a small tree, small plant which came to stay. See what it means. Stay means here, it doesn't mean that stay means living. It means it's grown. A cherry tree, a small cherry tree has grown there. Poet has seen that there is a small cherry tree. It was very small, 5 months child, lost in the tall grass running wild. Goats ate the leaves and the grass cutter scythe, split it apart and a monsoon blight. And then what poet is telling? The cherry tree, it was started growing. It has its own way to grow, and it was just small, 5 months child, just like a small child. See, when the child is means taken birth, it's very small, and slowly it starts growing, month by month it starts growing. In the same way, the cherry tree has also, means cherry tree has grown just like a child. It is now, the age of the cherry tree is 5 months old. Lost in the tall grass running wild, and the small cherry tree, it just lost in the small grass. As I told you, every plant, every tree has its own way to grow. In the same way, grass, it's growing very fast. We know that the grass has its own way, and grass is growing very fast. And so the small tree, it was just surrounded by the green grass, and it lost in that green grass. Goats ate the leaves and the grass cutter sighed. And now what means poet is telling, poet is just trying to show the struggle of survival, struggle of existence of that cherry tree, how the cherry tree is trying to survive. There are so many problems, so many hurdles we can see. Goat ate the leaves when the cherry tree was growing. That time goats, so many kettles, animals, they just have eaten leaves. Means goats, we can see goats ate the leaves, the grass cutter sighed. Even the grass cutter came there, and along with grass it had just cut its leaves. Yes, scythe means, here scythe is a one tool which we use to cut grass. It's somewhat means very sharp tool which is generally used to cut the grass. Split it apart and monsoon blight. So after that, what happened, that grass cutter, it has just split it apart. It has made two parts of the cherry tree, but still cherry tree was trying to for survival. It was trying the struggle for existence. And then due to monsoon also, there was even there are so many different seasons. In the rainy season, the cherry tree tried for survival due to means monsoon blight means whatever damage we get. Yes, so due to that monsoon damage, because there means we know that this area, this means Mussoorie area, it has too much rain, it has too much means snowfall even, and that's why this means cherry tree got so many problems. Due to monsoon blight also, it tried to survive. Shriveled the slender stem, even so, next spring I watch 3 new shoots grow. The young tree struggle, upward thrust, its arm in its fresh fur's lust. And then poet, what he is telling, that it has slender stem. Slender means very delicate, we can say. So when it was small, it was just 5-6 months old child, and it was, that's why its parts, its whatever body parts were there, they were very small, very thin, very means slender, and shriveled the slender stem, even so. And shriveled means very thin. So okay, thank you.